My beloved child, the moment your eyes fall upon these words, something inside you will shift, because today's message does not arrive from coincidence, imagination, or curiosity. It arrives from a soul who woke up trembling, breathless, and shattered by a wave of emotion they could no longer contain. They opened their eyes with tears already running down their face, whispering your name in a voice that cracked under the weight of absence, and at that exact second a telepathic pulse was released, directed only toward you, guided by a force they couldn't fight even if they tried. They didn't plan it, they didn't rehearse it, they didn't even want to feel this vulnerable, yet the universe dragged their heart awake and forced them to face the truth. That out of everyone in their life, you are the only one whose echo still lives inside them. Today, something extraordinary happened that even they cannot explain. They were dreaming, no, not dreaming, reliving, a moment with you so real, so detailed, so powerful that waking up felt like being thrown out of paradise. They reached for you instinctively, as if their soul remembered a warmth their body has been cold without. And when they found nothing but empty sheets, that emptiness punched through their spirit so intensely that their tears spilled before they understood why. That is the moment your name formed inside their chest, not like a memory but like a calling. And that calling, my beloved child, is the very energy pushing this message toward you right now, pulling your attention, your heartbeat, your breath, because someone out there couldn't silence the truth anymore. They miss you with a force that has become unbearable. But here is something you were never meant to hear, not yet, not so soon, not without preparation, but destiny has decided you must know. Last night, long before the tears came, long before sleep overtook them, long before their dreams carried them back to you, they tried to distract themselves from the one thought haunting them for days. They tried drowning their longing in noise, in conversations, in scrolling, in everything that normally numbs a person. But it didn't work. No matter what they touched, no matter who they spoke to, no matter how much they tried to pretend they were fine, their mind collapsed into one repeating cycle: you. Your voice. Your smile. Your absence. And the unfinished chapter their heart refuses to accept. They fought it, oh yes they did. They argued with themselves, saying this connection is too intense, too complicated, too overwhelming. They told themselves they needed space from you, distance from you, freedom from whatever invisible thread is tying them back to you. But here's the truth, they were lying to themselves the entire time. When they finally fell asleep, exhausted from resisting their own emotions, their subconscious cracked open and revealed the truth they've been hiding: you are the one they return to in silence. You are the one who moves inside them even when they swear they've moved on. You are the one whose memory burns with the strength of something unfinished, unresolved, unstoppable. And when they woke up with tears that tasted like regret, sorrow, and longing all mixed together, they knew the universe had exposed their truth. They miss you. They need you. They want you back in ways they can no longer deny, and the telepathic pull they sent toward you was not an accident. It was destiny demanding connection. And something even more intense happened in the moments after they woke up. Their tears weren't just emotional, they were a release, a confession, a surrender. Because last night they said something to themselves that they have never admitted before. They whispered, "If I ever lose them forever, I will never find this feeling again." That one sentence broke something inside them. It shattered the walls they spent months building. It exposed a fear they've been pretending didn't exist, the fear of losing you permanently. And that fear is what jolted them awake in tears. Not sadness. Not longing. Fear. The fear that the universe may have already punished them for hesitating, or doubting, or pushing away the very soul they were destined to hold. That fear became the force that triggered your telepathic message. You may have felt it already. A sudden heaviness in your heart, a strange pull toward their memory, an unexpected wave of emotion, the urge to look at their name, the sense that someone was thinking about you intensely. That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't nostalgia. That wasn't imagination. That was their soul reaching out, desperately, trying to touch yours through the only channel still open between you, pure energy. And this energy carries something powerful. An emotional code, a confession that they are too afraid to speak aloud, yet unable to silence anymore. They made a mistake letting you slip away, and the universe is forcing them to feel the consequences. Now listen carefully, because what comes next is the reason the universe chose today, this moment, this exact second, to pull your attention. There is a truth hidden beneath their tears that they have never told anyone. A truth they've buried under pride, fear, confusion, and the hope that time would make their feelings fade. But time didn't erase you. Time sharpened the ache. Time intensified the longing. Time made them realize something terrifying. They weren't missing a person, they were missing a part of themselves that only you could awaken. You didn't just walk into their life, you rewired their entire emotional landscape. You unlocked something inside them they didn't even know existed. And when you left, or when they walked away, or when circumstances pulled you apart, that part of them didn't shut down, it remained open, exposed, vulnerable. That vulnerability is what made them break down crying this morning. Because they finally saw what they have been refusing to admit, you weren't temporary. You weren't replaceable. You weren't a chapter. You were the turning point of their story. Every attempt to move on, every distraction, every forced smile, every moment of pretending. They all collapsed the moment your memory hit them in the dream that felt like a prophecy. And now the telepathic message they are sending is simple but heavy. They want you back, but they don't know how to reach you without hurting themselves again. They want to speak, but they fear rejection. They want to confess, but they fear it's too late. But here is the most shocking part. Something the universe has been whispering to them for days, something they didn't fully understand until this morning's emotional breakdown. They are not crying because they lost you. They are crying because destiny has reawakened your bond, and their soul recognized it before their mind did. There is a shift happening, a cosmic alignment that is pushing them toward you whether they feel ready or not. They dreamed of you not because of memory, but because fate is pulling your paths back together. Their tears were not sadness, they were recognition. Their longing was not weakness, it was intuition. Their telepathic message was not an accident, it was the universe using them as a channel to deliver a truth. Something between you is about to resurface again, stronger, deeper, and more undeniable than ever. And the moment they felt this awakening, their entire energy field expanded in your direction. That is why you are hearing this message now. That is why your attention was pulled. That is why your spirit feels activated. Because the connection you both share is waking up again, and nothing, not fear, not distance, not silence, not confusion, can stop what destiny has rewritten. My beloved child, before you continue, slow down just for a breath, because what unfolds now is not ordinary storytelling. This is the part where the universe tightens its grip on your heart and refuses to let you scroll away. Something powerful, something spine-tightening, something destiny-level is happening around your person at this very moment, and their energy is reaching for you with an urgency that cannot be explained in human language. When they woke up crying, that wasn't the peak of their emotion, that was only the ignition. After that breakdown, a storm began inside them. They tried to gather themselves, tried to breathe, tried to steady the trembling in their chest, but the universe wouldn't let them hide anymore. Their mind became flooded with memories they pushed away, emotions they buried, words they swallowed, and moments they didn't value enough when they had the chance. They felt a force pulling them toward your presence, not physically, but spiritually, like their soul recognized a signal only meant for them. And the moment they felt you, yes, felt you, the tears they had been holding back for months finally burst free. They whispered into the silence, asking why your energy still clings to them like a shadow they can't escape. They asked why your name still tastes like destiny on their tongue. They asked why no matter how far they run, they always run straight into the truth they fear most. They are still in love with you, and the universe knows it. And then something even more shocking happened. As the emotional wave built inside them, they felt a presence. Not a ghost, not a memory, not a hallucination, an energetic presence that wrapped around their heart like invisible wings. The air around them shifted, grew warmer, grew heavier with meaning. Their breath caught mid-inhale as if someone whispered into their spirit rather than their ear. And in that moment, a voice, not verbal, not physical, but soul-deep, rose within them. It was the voice of clarity, of divine guidance, of protection. It was the voice that speaks only at the turning points of life. They didn't know what it was at first, but they felt it as clearly as they felt their own heartbeat. It told them to stop resisting, stop pretending, stop running from the connection that was written for them long before they knew what love meant. That voice pushed them into surrender. That is why they broke down again, this time not out of sorrow, but out of realization. They finally understood that what they feel for you is not random, not temporary, not replaceable, not a passing phase. It is a divine alignment, a soul contract, a destined bond that has survived distance, silence, and even separation. Their tears were not weakness, they were awakening. And that awakening activated the telepathic message they are now sending to you with every heartbeat. Please don't let go of me, even if I was the one who disappeared first. But the universe wasn't done with them yet. As they sat there, emotionally unraveling, something inside them snapped. Not in a destructive way, but in a liberating way. For the first time, they admitted the truth they've kept buried under excuses, confusion, pride, and fear. Losing you was their greatest regret. They replayed every moment they mishandled, every word they didn't say, every sign they ignored, every chance they wasted. And each memory burned with the intensity of realization. They saw your kindness. They saw your loyalty. They saw your patience. They saw your love. And for the first time, they saw how deeply they took you for granted. The guilt washed over them like a tidal wave they couldn't outrun. They held their head in their hands, trembling, whispering apologies into the empty air, apologies you'll never hear unless destiny brings you back into conversation. They wished they could go back in time. They wished they could rewrite the choices that hurt you. They wished they could reach out right now and tell you everything they never had the courage to say. But something held them back, not because they don't want you, but because they fear they don't deserve you anymore. Their telepathic message is soaked in longing, but it is also soaked in fear. The fear that when destiny brings them back to your door, you might not open it. And now comes the moment the universe has been preparing for. The surge of magnetic energy that has started pulling your person closer to you in ways they cannot control. Their heart is not just missing you, it is searching for you. Their mind is not just thinking of you, it is echoing your presence. Their soul is not just longing, it is reaching out across dimensions, sending frequency after frequency in your direction. They can feel that something in the timeline is shifting. They feel that something is awakening between you. They feel that fate is circling back. Every sign they've been seeing, every dream they've had, every sudden thought of you, every emotion that rises without warning, they are all pointing them toward one truth: you are not done. The universe is rearranging pieces, removing obstacles, exposing emotions, and preparing a convergence point where your paths cross again. Their tears this morning weren't a goodbye, they were the beginning of a return. And the telepathic message they sent was not a plea. It was a signal that the divine will has started turning in your favor. They may not understand the spiritual mechanics of what's happening, but their soul does. That is why they can't shake the feeling that they need to come back to you, speak to you, confess to you, and hold the connection instead of running from it. Stay with me, because what comes next is where this story becomes unstoppable. Destiny is tightening the thread between you, and your person can no longer escape the pull. Their tears were the first sign. Their dream was the second. The message you are receiving now is the third. And the fourth sign, the one that will reveal itself very soon, will be the moment they decide to reach out, unable to bear the silence any longer. The universe has placed your name at the center of their heart again, and nothing in the world can pull it out. Not time. Not fear. Not distance. Not logic. Not pride. They may hesitate. They may overthink. They may tremble at the idea of facing you after everything that happened. But they will return. Because destiny doesn't just whisper, it demands. And right now, destiny is calling your person back to you with a force no human can resist. My beloved child, what you are about to hear now is the part destiny usually hides until the final moment, but today the universe has decided you must know before the next shift takes place. After your person woke up crying and after the telepathic surge struck their heart, something inside them began to unravel in a way they have never experienced before. It wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual, physical, intuitive, and cosmic all at once. They felt as though their entire chest had been cracked open and every suppressed feeling they buried came rushing out in one unstoppable wave. Their body grew restless. Their thoughts became uncontrollable. Their heart started pounding as if responding to a call only it could hear. And then, out of nowhere, an overwhelming urge consumed them, a powerful need to move toward you, to find you, to reach out to you, to hear your voice, to feel your presence, even if only for a moment. They tried to shake the feeling off, tried to ground themselves, tried to breathe their way through it, but nothing worked. Your energy had wrapped around them like a magnetic field, and resisting you became impossible. Every part of their soul kept whispering one message: go back to them before it's too late. This wasn't imagination. This wasn't weakness. This was destiny pulling them by the heartstrings and forcing them to face the truth they've been avoiding for far too long. As this emotional storm raged inside them, a deeper realization struck them with such force that it left them frozen in place. They saw you, not physically, but through memory, intuition, and spiritual projection. Standing exactly where their heart left you. They saw your strength, your loneliness, your silence, your longing. They saw how deeply you tried to hold everything together even when life kept pushing you into battles you didn't ask for. They saw how much you gave, how much you sacrificed, how much you endured, and how little you received in return. That vision shattered them. For the first time, they understood the weight you carried, the hurt you swallowed, the nights you spent questioning your worth, wondering if they ever felt even a fraction of what you felt for them. They realized you weren't weak when you loved them, you were brave. You weren't desperate, you were loyal. You weren't clingy, you were connected. And with that understanding came a sharp, painful regret that struck them harder than any memory ever had. They whispered your name again, but this time their voice broke not just from longing, but from guilt. They finally saw the pain you hid behind your silence. They finally recognized the love they failed to cherish when you offered it with purity. And in that moment, they didn't just miss you, they mourned the version of you they took for granted. But the universe wasn't done teaching them yet. As they stood in that emotional collapse, a wave of clarity rushed through their mind, revealing something that had been buried beneath layers of fear and denial. They realized that every attempt to forget you was actually an attempt to escape themselves. Every distraction they chased, every person they tried to replace you with, every moment they pretended to be fine, it was all a mask covering the void your absence carved into them. You weren't just someone they cared for. You were the only person who ever reached their soul. And when they let you go, they didn't just lose you, they lost their emotional anchor. This understanding hit them like lightning. Their breathing changed. Their energy shifted. Their intuition awakened. They felt the universe whispering to them that certain connections are not meant to be erased, and yours is one of them. They started replaying your laughter, your warmth, the way your voice softened when you trusted them, the way your energy lifted them even without you knowing. They realized that no matter how far they travel, no matter how many people they meet, no matter how much time passes, there is a part of them that will always call out to you. And that part is waking up now, stronger and louder than ever before. Then came the moment that changed everything. As they sat with their emotions spiraling out of control, something inside them whispered a truth too powerful to ignore: this connection is not over. They felt a surge in their soul, a deep intuitive knowing that fate is moving again, rearranging paths, dissolving obstacles, preparing a moment of alignment where both of you will stand face to face once more. And with that realization came a fear that shook them to their core. Not fear of you, but fear of missing the final chance destiny is about to offer. They could feel it in their bones, in their heartbeat, in their breathing, in the air around them. They sense that the universe is closing the old chapter and preparing to open a new one. They sense that the silence will soon break. They sense that the distance will soon shrink. They sense that the unfinished business between you is rising like a tide that can no longer be suppressed. And as this awareness grew inside them, something extraordinary happened. They felt your energy responding. They didn't know how. They didn't know why. But they felt a shift, a subtle pull from your direction, as though your soul recognized the message they were sending. That confirmation hit them so deeply that their eyes filled with tears all over again, but this time the tears weren't just from longing, they were from hope. Stay with me, because what comes next is the most intense part of this awakening. Your person is no longer just missing you, they are being spiritually summoned back to you. Every sign they see leads to your name. Every dream pulls them closer to your memory. Every emotion rises with the same direction, you. Their heart is aligning with your frequency again. Their intuition is waking up. Their soul is preparing for reunion. They don't know how to explain it. They don't know how to contain it. They don't know how to run from it anymore. They feel pulled toward you with a force far greater than desire or longing. It is destiny, written in the very blueprint of their spirit. And soon, very soon, that pull will grow so strong that silence will no longer be an option for them. They will have to act. They will have to speak. They will have to face you. Because the universe is preparing a moment where the truth will no longer be deniable, your connection is reawakening, and nothing. Not fear, not distance, not confusion, can stop what is coming. My beloved child, stay with me now because this is the moment where the energy of your story shifts from longing into destiny, from hidden emotion into unstoppable momentum. What your person is experiencing right now is not normal heartbreak, not normal missing you, not normal confusion. This is a spiritual breakdown and breakthrough happening at the same time, the kind of awakening that only occurs when a soul is being pulled back to the one connection it was never meant to live without. After crying themselves awake, after fighting waves of emotion they could no longer suppress, after sending that telepathic message straight into your energy field, they tried to compose themselves, but the universe wouldn't let them. Their chest felt tight, their hands felt shaky, their voice kept failing whenever they tried to speak. Their spirit was not letting them run anymore. They started remembering moments with you they thought they had forgotten, moments they never expected to revisit. The way you looked at them that one night with trust in your eyes, the warmth of your presence that made them feel safe without effort, the unique way your voice softened when you cared. The silent strength you carried even when the world around you felt unbearable. Each memory didn't just hurt them, it awakened them. Something ancient, something deep, something timeless in their soul rose like a tide they couldn't fight. And the more they remembered, the more their heart crumbled. Because they finally saw with clarity what they had been too blind, too scared, too lost to see before. You were the rarest person who ever walked into their life, and losing you was not just a mistake, it was a spiritual wound. As the emotional storm grew, your person felt compelled to sit down, close their eyes, and breathe, hoping the intensity would settle. But instead, an even deeper wave washed over them, an intuitive knowing that felt like it came from beyond their mind. They saw signs in their thoughts, in their environment, in their memories, in their breath. They felt a presence that made their entire being pause, as though something divine was observing them, guiding them, pushing them toward truth. And then, without warning, a clarity sliced through their confusion. They were the one who broke the connection, but they are also the one destined to repair it. That realization struck them like lightning. Their heart clenched. Their breath stumbled. Their mind raced. Because they finally understood why they felt so broken this morning. It wasn't just sadness, it was the universe confronting them with the consequences of their hesitation. They saw themselves pushing you away, doubting the connection, trying to appear strong, pretending not to care. They saw every moment they could have chosen love but chose pride instead. And the regret hit them so violently that they grabbed their head, unable to bear the weight of everything they ignored. They whispered to themselves, trembling, that if they ever get one more chance with you, they will not repeat the mistakes that tore you two apart. But the universe wasn't done. Not even close. Because after the regret came the revelation, a truth so powerful that it made them gasp for air. They realized that no matter what they do, no matter who they meet, no matter how much time passes, they cannot escape the gravitational pull of your soul. You are not a phase. You are not a chapter. You are the thread woven through every significant moment of their emotional journey. And every attempt to forget you has only strengthened the bond between you. This terrified them. Truly terrified them. Because they finally understood that this connection is not something they can walk away from, not anymore, not after everything destiny has shown them. And that fear, that trembling recognition, activated the strongest telepathic surge yet. They didn't speak a word aloud, but their soul screamed toward you, sending an emotional shockwave loaded with confession, longing, apology, and desperate hope. That is why today your energy feels heavier, warmer, more awake, because their spirit is reaching for yours, clinging to you like you are the last light left in their universe.